Hi, in this video I'll be reciting the third essay I wrote for the class, The Chinese Experience. This one is about Girl in Translation and the Accidental Asian. Assimilation in The Accidental Asian was, for Eric, the inevitable result of a process begun by his parents. From them, he was given an inheritance which ensured his access to, quote-unquote, every avenue of American life. Here, the ill-fated intersection of class and race means that as Eric finds himself entering the establishment for the sake of upward mobility, he believes he is wrongly accused of becoming white. He does not purposely eschew the cultural and national dimensions of Chineseness, but rather sees himself as an omnicultural self-invention, whereby race differences are decided and mitigated by the individual. This is what the unstable performance of a racial identity means. His relative lack of constraints, which explains his identity libertarian views, is the factor which ensures a continued ebb towards the pale, powerful plurality. He rejects the view that holds assimilation is a white way of being, but simultaneously recognizes that he is adopting whiteness insofar as it represents ideas like mobility. Chineseness is diluted, since to maintain it would have taken an unremitting reinforcement in such a different land. At Yale, Eric recognizes affinities to class, but not race, and even focused on disproving racial myths. However, he now recognizes true assimilation, an embrace of free will and security and belonging, as leading to an racial amalgam. Such an amalgam is achieved by confidently disregarding and thereby disempowering the myths. One thing he highlights anecdotally is the idea of covering. Covering, coined by Irving Goffman and explained by Kenji Yoshino in The Pressure to Cover, is consciously toning down manifestations of a part of one's identity, such as age, disability, race, sexual orientation, or ethnicity, that is seen by society in order to avoid confrontation and discrimination. Importantly, society demands covering because even though the identity is recognized by everyone, covering demonstrates one's intention to place it in the background. As a teenager, Eric struggled to conform to the ideals of coolness for American teenagers. He names his hair as a major enemy, since it restrained him from having the in hairstyle. Finally, he decided that going bald and nowadays wearing a crew cut allowed him to get by. Yoshino talks about African American stewardesses on airlines who are not allowed to wear cornrows. Therefore, not covering could result in social isolation or the loss of a job. This pressure to downplay, or as Bald Eric, controvert, the manifestations of identity differences is anathema to the identity libertarian, because it means that identity is, for many, a coerced creation, not a choice free from society. Kwok, in contrast, understands race as a process organizing particular forms of labor. In Girl in Translation, Kim's Ma is limited to working in unskilled positions in Chinatown because of her language and cultural difficulties. Meanwhile, Kim assimilates to overcome the limitations on work and the inherently racialized labor regulation to which she was subjected. These include the factory owner's control of her rent payments and piece rate, things which applied in but not outside of Chinese sweatshops. Though she escapes such regulations, race remains neither an option nor a performance for her. Kim is always thinking about Matt's love, and she cannot forget or abandon Chinatown, even given her education at Yale. It is always a part of her identity. Race is therefore only partially flexible, given many years for Kim, while its boundaries remain insurmountable for Ma. The idea of family for Kim is the loyal mother and cub relationship, situated in a work-family relation with her aunt, who demands labor exploitation. These demands are placed by the production relationship of her aunt to the garment industry, and the fluctuations of that industry determined by the CWS, capitalist world system. It is further conditioned by Chinatown's uniquely insular environment and its elite's subservience to the capitalist world system. People in the neighborhood are racialized, but not through a free, unstable performance. Whereas Eric's race is merely nominal, Kim's is virtually determinative. The end. Thank you.